So, it's been a while, huh? Now, before we start, let me ask you a quick question. With the following, what would you associate with the following? A, plural of house. B, the word emblem. C, tres in English. And D, the typing of a Pokemon named Charmander. I'll just give you a moment to think about it. Right, you've had a moment. Either A, you figured it out, or B, you gave up. So allow me to give you the answer. The answer is my next project. Or, if you want to be specific, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Yes, it is time for that LP to come in. At the time of recording, it's less than 24 hours before release. I mean, that could vary depending on what time zone you're in and when you decide to watch this. So I figured it would be a good time to start planning a playthrough or even actually starting it. Now, there's one big difference with this compared to Shantae Half Genie Hero LP I did. You see, that game I've already played through before and somewhat know it. Fire Emblem 3 Houses, let's just say this is going to be a blind LP. Yes, you heard right, I'm doing it blind. So, allow me to explain, because there are some people that might not get what a blind run is. So, let's get that question out of the way. What do I mean by blind? Blind means I have not have much info about the game, like, say I don't have much info about how the plot or gameplay will work. I've only seen a small amount of pre-release material, mainly the trailers that we've seen, like from E3 and stuff. But this is not series blind, as I've played previous Fire Emblem games, but not as LPs. So I call this game blind, not series blind. So if you're thinking of series blind from me, you've come to the wrong place. Now let's get on to some other questions that people may want asked, and I shall answer. For example, for the main character, which gender of them will I be using? Short answer, I'll be technically using both, but long answer, only one of them will be used in the blind run. However, there is a method I have determined for it, and as of this point, I've already got that bit recorded, and you'll see that in the part when we get to the decision for the gender. So look forward to that. But don't worry, if your gender is not the one you wanted, you'll be just wait until when I do another run when I use the other gender to make up for it. Speaking of decisions, which house will I choose? Again, I'll be using all three, but long answer, only one will be done for the blind run. Same method as the Byleth decision for the LP, I'll be using that same method, which you'll find out at that point. Just like with the other gender of Byleth, the other houses will get their runs in the future. So don't worry, you won't miss out on much. In terms of difficulty, now considering this is a blind run, and I don't know how well it's going to go, I just go with normal. But the type being casual or classic, I do not know, because I've done classic on Echoes my first run because of Miller's Turn Wheel, and Divine Pulse 8's similar to it, so it would probably be a toss-up, but it might lean towards casual in case of running out of Turn Wheel. Well, no, not Turn Wheel, Pulse. Sorry, I just got mixed up with Echoes there. Now let's come to the big part. What do I know and don't know about it? I mean, I kind of know little bits of the plot, so like being Academy first phase, but second phase being at war, which means I know about the time skip. And I've also heard there's supports in this game, and also same-sex marriage options apparently, but for that part, I do not know who they are, so do not mention it in the comments. I'm just going to say that right now. Now, here's the big thing that I'm going to take a bit longer to do. Spoilers. As in, what policy would I use and what would count as a spoiler? Now, for context, this is a blind run, so obviously you don't want spoilers, but people's definition may be different, so allow me to explain what I mean. For the first point, this is just spoilers in general. Don't mention anything that hasn't happened in the plot as of that point in the playthrough, i.e., don't spoil what happens ahead. So, like if certain plot points or certain characters dying as part of the story, don't mention that. What I'm talking now, when this comes out, I would like to ask you just only talk about up to the chapter I'm at or earlier. Do not say anything up after that. Like example, if I'm at chapter 5, you can discuss parts of it up to chapter 5 or earlier, but do not go anywhere after that. I'm just going to say that now. Now, second thing, don't give advice. Advice may just as well be bad as spoilers, because certain types of advice may end up hinting me at something going to happen to certain people. Like, let's just use this for example. Say on the birthright route, a certain someone will die if you don't get into a support with the main character. I already know who it is, but I'm not going to say it unless you don't know it. So, and this is on birthright, saying getting so-and-so to an A support with so-and-so on the birthright route. Not going to spoil anything, but that type of advice would implicate that something bad may happen to that person in the future if I don't do it. So just don't give advice on that. Also for supports, don't give me advice on them. Like saying, if you know the pairings, don't give me advice on them. I'll just do whoever I want. Thank you very much. Now, there's one thing I need to clarify about spoilers. If I'm saying I'm blind for spoilers, I'm going to say something. One route will be blind. That's it. The others won't be. So, after the decision point, when it comes out, I may allow spoilers for the routes of the other houses up to the point where I am on the blind run. Like, say if I'm on Blue Lions and I'm up to chapter 6, okay? Because I wouldn't be doing Golden Deer or Black Eagles blind. You can discuss spoilers up to that equivalent chapter on those routes in the comments. So basically take the same rules as normal spoilers in how far you talk, like that chapter or earlier for the other houses, but don't worry about discussing it. And to further accentuate that I do not want spoilers, at the beginning of each video there will be something to add to let you know no spoilers or anything. Just don't spoil the game and we'll all be good. Okay, mate? So, that's all. That's that. Hopefully I covered everything I need to cover. Otherwise, future me is gonna be a bit snarky and add some snark in the editing. So, I'll really be seeing the repercussions of that. Probably gonna happen a lot in this series. So, expect a fair bit of snark. Anyway, I'll see you when the LP starts. Oh, also, before I forget at the end, I now have Twitter. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, check the description. And before that one person asks about a certain series I was planning on doing that I haven't gone around to doing, that series is going to be more a side project, not a main project. So it will come out, it just won't be on the main focus. And also, if you want to make bets on which gender byleth or which house I go for, feel free to make bets however you want. Like description, if I post this on a certain Discord, just discuss, or on Twitter, you can just make bets. Anyway, that's all for the introduction. So, see you when the first part begins. Hopefully the day of release, so I can just start getting it done. Right, thanks for watching.